And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're doing a retro review of a game called Carcassonne the City. I believe this came out probably 10 years ago or so. And in fact, my version comes in a wooden box. They've since re-released it in a regular box. But this is my favorite version of Carcassonne, and I was surprised to see I'd done no video review of it, so we're going to fix that now. Now, Carcassonne the City is very similar in some ways to Carcassonne, but very different in others. So even if you play Carcassonne and like or dislike it, I would invite you to check this out. Besides, there's a lot of cool pieces in this one. Well, for example, Carcassonne the City is made up of different tiles, and players are going to have a tile each turn of the game that they're going to be drawing from piles. There are 3 piles that will be used in the course of this game, and for the beginning of the game, each player is going to place a tile, and when you place a tile on the board, you place it next to another tile, and you can basically place it in any orientation and connect to another tile. The only caveat is that roads must attach to roads. Other than that, you can really place tiles any way you want to. Like this here I can place, or I could also place it like that. Now, when a player places a tile on the board, they can then place one of their meeple figures. They have these followers. You have 8 followers that you have, although one of them is used for a scoring track to keep track of how many points you have. So you really only have 7. And when you place a tile, you can put a follower anywhere on that tile. There are 3 different places you can put them. You can put them on a street if it's on the tile, and that makes them a citizen. You can put them on a market, that's the green area, which makes them a seller, or you can put them in the residential region, which makes them a steward. Now, when you place these guys down, let's say I went first and I'd put this tile here, and I put this guy in the road. And then you go and you place this tile here. You cannot place someone on the road because I already have someone there. You have other places you could place in this residential area, or in this market. That's fine, but you can't be in the same row. Now, if, let's say you did this, and you placed in this road, and then later on, someone connects those roads, that's totally legitimate. Speaking of that, when something is finished, you can see here this road is completely finished. It goes from one market to another market. It scores, and any meatball or meatballs comes off of it. When a road is finished, each player is going to get 1 point per square that's part of that road, unless it goes over 4, in which case you get 2 points. In a market, when the market's finished, let's say this market here is finished, you take the number of tiles, in this case 3, times the number of different goods. So there's 2 different goods, blue and yellow, so this one is worth 6 points. Residential areas don't score until the end of the game, those guys will never come off once you've placed them, but you're going to get 2 points for each market that touches that residential area, and residential areas can get quite large. Now, after one of the 3 piles is out on the board, and players will start pulling from the second pile, things change. At that point, if you ever place a tile that finishes something and causes it to be scored. So let's say I play a tile over here, and I cause this market to be scored, which is going to get blue only 1 point because it's one type of good and one tile. However, I cause it to be scored. Then we start building the city wall. I put out the city gate first, so I can put it anywhere I want. So let's say I put it here. And each player then will get 1 wall piece that they attach to the city wall. They can attach it to either side. Now, as you attach these walls, you're going to be closing off things. Things are going to finish, and you're going to basically be cutting the city down into different sections. So let's say if the wall, for example, got all the way over here, this market's finished, and also we can't build that way. Now, maybe players can quick try to build some stuff that goes out this way so that the wall's forced to bend around it, but the walls are going to be moving around. When you place a wall segment, you're also allowed to place a guard on the wall. Now, he'll stay there till the end of the game, and at the end of the game, he's going to get 2 points for each of these special buildings he can see, and 3 points for each named building. They have like a little name written next to them. And so this guy here, that's a good spot for me to put him because that's 10 points worth right there that he can see. You can't put a guard that's facing another guard across the way. Although if there's a hole, you can put 2 guards on each side, and then when the hole is filled, they'll both score points for that section. After everyone has placed one wall, the player who initiated the wall placing has a tower. Each player will have a certain number of towers based on the number of players. He can place a tower at either end of the wall, and he'll get points equal to, so let's say I place it here, you get points equal to the number of walls between that tower and the city gate, so 3 points, or to the next tower. So if we start building more walls here like this, and then if I put one here, I'd only get 1 point. So you have to know when's the best time to put out your towers. When you start on the third pile of tiles, the same thing happens, except players will be placing 2 walls at a time instead of 1. Well, they'll go around and place 1 wall, then they'll go around and place another wall. The game is going to continue until either all the tiles are out, or until the city is the 2 ends of the wall are within 5 of each other, or until you're out of wall tiles. At that point, you'll score for the guards in the wall and for the guys laying down, and then whoever has the most points is the winner. Now, I still have regular Carcassonne in my collection because I love all the expansions for it. But if I'm just playing the regular game and I want to introduce some people to Carcassonne, this is a version that I bring out. I love how simple this is, especially when attaching the tiles. At first, people who might be fans of Carcassonne are like, what? You can just attach markets next to residential areas? Yeah, you can. The only thing you need to worry about is roads. And all the scoring is very simple. The quote-unquote farmers score 2 points for each market next to them at the end of the game. That's very easy. There's roads. That's a simple thing, 1 point or 2. There's the markets, which is just a small multiplication problem. And then the guards. And the guards are a lot of fun. In fact, the walls are neat for a couple reasons. One, it's just aesthetically very pleasing. As the city grows and you build walls around it, when you're done, you look at the city and you're like, yeah, we built that. Even if you didn't win, it just looks really good with the walls and the towers and the tiles. It just has a very cool look to it. But putting a guard on the wall and using the walls to finish areas and also to stop people from expanding too much is a really cool, simple concept. And even though the game can end from people running out of tiles, I've never actually seen that happen, I think, ever. It's almost always ended from the 2 walls coming within 5, because once you get into that second and third stack of tiles, those walls go when they start surrounding the city. And you're trying to score. And so the game has some distinct sections at the beginning. You're building big areas. Near the end, you're trying to be the one guy to get on the wall to score points or to get a really long set of walls so you can put towers out. It's a very solid game. It looks great. It's easy to teach new people, but offers enough strategy that I think gamers will be coming back to it time and time again. In my opinion, it's still the best version of Carcassonne that's ever been designed. And looking the best and being the best to play too, it's a really good combo. So if you ever come across this game, find a version of it on eBay or what have you, I would highly recommend it. The wooden box I can take or leave. I actually like the regular box better, but the stuff inside with all these walls, it comes with 2 bags, one for the tiles, one for the walls. It's really great, and I highly recommend it. Dice Tower Judgment into my collection.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Die Schleusen werden geschlossen. Mach die Türe zu, du Sau.